Hello, Instagram pod. It is Tanner Mitchell here, aka Tanner the Planter from Instagram. So on our survey, we got a ton of questions or responses to wanting to learn more about hashtags. Hashtags are a really big deal when it comes to Instagram and really just about any social media platform, any major social media platform right now. So it is important to know how to use them. Knowing how to use them effectively can make or break your engagement. So let's get started. A few of the things that we're going to learn about are finding hashtags in your niche, what hashtags to use and how many, how to increase your engagement with hashtags, and finally, I'm going to share my little hashtag recipe that I've been working on for a while. So let's get started with finding hashtags within your niche. One of the easiest things to do is to use the search function up at the top of your, let's go back here. At the top of your, or at the bottom here, you can search for just about anything. If I were to go to top, I could go to search for, let me see, exercise. Let's look at that. And so you see there are 37,400,000 exercise posts. So let's go into that right there. Now, you'll see right here, the top. These top ones are the ones that are going to have the most engagement pretty much, okay? They're going to have a lot of likes, a lot of comments, and you can generally go to these types of profiles to get an idea of what your hashtag strategy should be. And so we'll just kind of go to, I don't know, let's go to one of these more appropriate ones. Here, I like this one right here. Let's go to that one right there. So she has 648 likes. She's got a few comments. Hey, she needs to be on the pod, right? She can get more comments with that. So let's take a look and let's see what her hashtags are. Here they are. So if you look down here, you can see her hashtags. What I do often when I'm building a little list of hashtags is I'll screenshot several of these top posts. So what I would do is say, okay, I see her hashtags right here. Also notice the layout of her things. When you come across this photo and you want to learn, like the writing, the writing of her post, the caption of it, lends you to want to click and see more and see what else there is. And that will lead you all the way down to her hashtags. And I would screenshot that and I'll refer to that later. So I would go to that one. I would go to, this one might be the same one. I would go to this one and see what these hashtags are. I would screenshot that and, kind of get an idea of the hashtags that I want to use. Once I have all of those hashtag screen captures, I will go into my notes section of my phone and I will copy down a bunch of them. I will make some hashtag groups. And remember, you can use up to 30 hashtags, which brings me to my next point. That's pretty much how you're going to find your hashtags to use within your niche. And the more that you're within that niche, the more you're involved in that community, you're going to find more and more relevant hashtags to your material, and you can make up several lists of hashtag groups that you want to use that are specific to your niche. So how many hashtags do you use? You can use 30, right? Some people will tell you, hey, you have 30 chances to win the lottery with, going viral with this hashtag that you should use. You should use all 30 of them. Some people say you should use, about 10 hashtags because otherwise you're going to look way too spammy. Sometimes when, you see 30 hashtags, you think, oh, that's kind of spammy. That person is just looking for a lot of likes, So it really depends on what you want to do. 30 hashtags is a lot, and, it's going to require a little bit more research and effort on your part. What I would do, I've done it both ways. I've done ones that are super specific to the content that I'm putting out. I've done 30 hashtags where the content is still specific to the hashtags, but not as, I'll use a little bit more popular ones. You kind of want to just see what works best for you. Try out different methods, try one method for a week and kind of see, estimate what your average likes are and see which one works best and see which ones you like better. I've seen success both ways. So how many is super up to you. You can see what just works better for your niche and your community. Next is one of my favorite ones. We're going to talk about how to increase engagement with the hashtags. So, of course, at this point, you should have compromised a few groups of hashtags to use that's relevant to your content. And what we're going to do now is we're going to, let's just take my post from this morning, for instance. I searched Monstera Monday. Okay, it's not a huge deal within the plant community, but it is very specific, and enough people use it to where I can get a lot of content. So I did a Monstera Monday post today, this one right here, okay? And so what I did was I went and searched for Monstera Monday. I did this before and after my post. So warming up my Instagram about 5 minutes before I posted, I went on there and I started doing this. So I clicked on Monstera Monday. I went to recent. I don't want to go to top because sometimes those are from big accounts. Usually those are from big accounts, and their like and comment ratio is going to be so saturated, and they're not likely to follow you back. So you're going to get engagement from smaller accounts, right? So we want to target those ones, and you're more likely to find those in recent. So let's go to recent. I click on this one, and y'all, I literally set a timer for 5 minutes, and I go like this. I just like them. And some people will say, well, that's not really genuine. You're just liking whatever comes across. Well, look, my post had the same hashtag in it. They're all talking about Monstera Monday. I have something in common with them, and I actually do like all these photos so far. That one's kind of cool. Because they are within my community, they are showing me their Monsteras, just like I have a Monstera, and I think it's cool to see all their plants. So it might seem, not so genuine to some people, but truly, I definitely do have something in common with these people, and I like doing it. Within that 5 minute period, I can usually like about 100 photos, and I can comment on maybe 3 or 4 or 5 photos, with a genuine comment. So with that, I'll take it a little step further, and I'll show you what kind of photo I would comment on. So right now, let me see. I like to get a little bit deeper. See, I've liked a bunch of these already. I like to go a little bit deeper, closer to the hour range. So I'm going to look, if you look, so you have the photo, and then under that you have the hearts, and then the likes, and then, you'll see their things. And then at the bottom of their post, you can see how long ago they posted. So this post was done 45 minutes ago, and it has 43 likes. That's not bad. That's pretty good. So this photo was done 47 minutes ago and has 7 likes. Okay, so they don't get a lot of engagement on their post. This is somebody who I would say if I commented on their photo, I would almost 90+% guarantee that I get a follow back from them. So let's look at what their post says. Monstera, 3rd new leaf in 3 weeks since I got this big guy. So I'll comment and say, that's awesome growth. I love when they give you new leaves. Okay, and I'll leave that comment. And I can almost guarantee, let's look. So they have 128 followers. I'm very, very likely to, and I'm going to go over here actually too, and I'm going to like a couple more. There's a ZZ plant. I have one of those. That's pretty cool. I have one of these cathedral cactus. That's pretty cool. More Monstera. So, and I really want one of these rubber plants. And so I'll comment on this. Now, in doing that, you guys saw that it probably took me less than a minute. I would pretty much guarantee that I'm going to get a follower from that, okay? So then I just keep going. I already commented on that one. So I look for the ones that have been up for around an hour and don't have very much engagements in the way of comments or likes. And then, I don't want to say flatter them, but I will, I will engage in their photo, and they're very likely to see it because they're a small account. So they are going to be a person that would read all of their comments and like that somebody is engaging with them. And then they're pretty much always going to come back to your profile, and they'll say, oh, I like his stuff too, and they'll follow you. This is why having good content really, really matters, because you can like all the photos that you want, You can do all of that strategy that you want, trying to increase your engagement. But if you don't have good content, people aren't going to follow you. Content does matter. Now, people always say, provide value. Value is very, whatever is valuable means something different to everybody, of course. But you really need to be asking yourself why someone would want to follow your account. If you are putting up just like random stuff about there, and it's very obvious that you're just doing it because you feel like you have to do it, or it's kind of forced or whatever, you're probably not going to get a lot of followers no matter what you do, right? Okay, so last but not least, let's go to my hashtag recipe. So I use an app called the Preview. Preview is, I put all of my photos in there, and I switch them around. I can play with them. I can kind of see where I want my layout to be, and I can edit them and do all that kind of stuff. Within the app also, I can, I'll just go to this one since I did it yesterday. I can go in there and I can make several. This is where I keep all of my hashtag groups, these little succulents, houseplants too, air plants, things like that. My hashtag recipe, first of all, what I want to do, what I have found that has been consistently pretty good for me is, first I will do hashtags that are super relevant to the photo. Okay, so like for this one, I'll pull it back up again. This is a picture of a echeveria. It's a baby echeveria. So I will, it's a succulent. So I will find 5, 6, 7 hashtags, or I will use 5 or 6, 7 hashtags that have to do with that specific plant, that echeveria, that it's a succulent, and just a few hashtags within that community that have to do with succulents, right? And then I'll broaden myself a little bit, and I'll do maybe another 5 or 6, 7 that have to do with the plant community. And last but not least, I will do a couple of at least one area location. Wherever I'm at, wherever you live, your area location I feel is very important, especially if you're in the network marketing company or business industry, because you want to be able to meet with people. I know that my wife and I, we do our best work when we are able to meet with people in person. So it's always nice to be able to connect with the people that are in your community, so that if they are interested in your Instagram, you could reach out to them and say, hey, let's meet up for coffee or whatever, So that is my hashtag recipe. I use a little bit of each. I'll even throw in a couple of super popular hashtags. That's another one that people ask me a lot about, is which, do you use the super popular hashtags? And I will. I'll use some of the really popular hashtags. I will go to I guess Monstera Monday isn't one. Let's find one that's actually from my profile that I used today that's a little bit more. So houseplants, that's one. Houseplants has 1 million posts, right? And I used it. So as soon as I posted this, in the most recent, it fell pretty quick in the recents thing. Okay, that's fine, because I use some other ones that aren't so popular, like Green Your Feed, that only has 52,000. So I'm gonna stay at the recent one. See right there, I am. What is that? The 12th. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th photo down. So I'm still staying fairly relevant on that one. My photo is going to stay up there for a little while. So I do a couple of really popular ones. I'll probably do 3 or 4 really popular hashtags, because I know a lot of people are going to be looking at it, and I want to get the likes from there. But I also want to niche myself down a little bit and do ones that aren't so popular. So there you have it. That is my Instagram game. And since I've been doing specifically how to increase the engagement with the hashtags, clicking on, the Monstera Monday hashtag and going through to the recents and liking a bunch of posts from there for, 5-minute stints at a time. If I have an extra 5 minutes, if I'm, doing whatever and I have a little downtime, I'll just come here and I'll set the timer for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and I'll just like as many as I can. And since I've been doing that, my engagement has went from right around 23 likes on average per photo to, I mean, I don't know. Let's see. This one has 173. This one has 121. I mean, you can see it has increased big time. This one has 180. So yeah, engaging with your community. Instagram really likes when, the more you engage with the community that you're in on Instagram, it seems to be the more people they put your content in front of. So that is how I use hashtags. And if you have any more questions, please let me know. You can message me personally on WhatsApp or Instagram, and I'd be happy to help. If you have anything else that you'd like to be covered, let me know, and I will be sure to make a video.